I feel very honored to be invited by Dr. Zhou here to talk about the application of AI in the new energy. I think that new energy is a little bit different because AI, we have the mutual demand to each other with AI. Just around the Spring Festival, there is an encouraging word, Hongrenxin and NVIDIA, and also OpenAI, Sam, and they say that the end of AI is the solar power and the energy storage. It will burn the energy in 14 different planets. And this is fake news. But what is true? And we see a speech from Sam at the Davos Forum. Sam made a speech. We need the nuclear fusion and other cheap energy and energy storage. Actually, it didn't say that the end of AI is solar power and energy storage. Actually, the AI consumption on the power is really huge, and we have some statistics like ChatGPT. I think that this will be ChatGPT 4.0. It responds to 200 million requests every day. Power consumption is 500,000 kilowatt hour electricity. So every household in U.S. That 29 kilowatt. So it's about 17,000 tons of household power consumption. So this is really a huge power consumption. What is the situation in China? For China's data center, this is from MMIT. In 2022, the total scale is 27 billion kilowatt hour. 2050 will be the 350 billion kilowatt hour, and then so the 2030 will be 590 billion kilowatt hour. What is a really huge data, but you see that 2023, the whole society about the 920 million. The tertiary industry is the 116 billion kilowatt hour. The data center is 5%. The tertiary industry accounts for 30% of the power consumption. So you can see this data center really consumes a large power in a society. It's about AI, and we really need a new energy to support the AI. Well, Mr. Li will just give us a description about AI. In this new system, the AI application in the grid with renewable energy. For the grid with renewable energy, this is a new buzzword. For us, when we have the power background, so you have the two things. One is the stable status and also loaded the situation, or transient. Transient, that means fluctuated. So stable and transient or fluctuated. So we need to overcome the fluctuated situation so as to achieve the stable operation. But for the new grid system, there are two features. One is like power generation, especially new energy power generation proportion goes up. The wind power, solar power, actually in nature they are unstable energy source. Of course, there are also other distributed like roof solar power panel. For the power scheduling is very difficult. So the schedulers In the past, they are responsible for a couple of regions. That's okay, but now they will triple or even quadruple a number of the schedulers are needed. At the same time, there are more consumptions. Previously, I mentioned about the computing center, and also like e-vehicle electrification also put more load on it. There are some bigger changes. In the past, we say that residential power consumption is very stable, like water in the morning, water in the night, but it's not stable anymore. And new energy system, the biggest problem is this transient or fluctuated status is unpredictable. In order to control this transient status is really difficult. Even your doctor degree on experts, it's really difficult for you to control this fluctuation and this random. How to do it? The AI is really a bigger help for us. It will help the scheduling and management of a new power system.
From the generation and side and from the consumption side, including and the trading, like Mr. Lee said, and the virtue and power plant. I think an AI and machine learning can play critical roles in this process. So when we talk about all these and the wind and the solar and the hydrogen and the powers, and I'm going to give you more details about them. So first, let's look at wind power. So usually, people say wind power is very strong. However, we do not have control over it because the wind comes from the flow of air, and the solar comes from the sunshine. And there is another saying that, there is no clear prediction on the weather and conditions, and this isn't so true. For wind power and for solar power, especially for wind power, we need to study the climate, humidity. There are multiple factors you need to take into account, and when you talk about wind power. In recent years, we have seen some extreme weathers. There will be more changes in wind power. Another thing is we're seeing the wind turbines are getting bigger and bigger. Well, in the past, people look at the height of the wind and turbine is 100 meters, but today it has reached 180 meters in height for these wind turbines. So at different height, things are totally different. And wind shear and wind power totally different. Wind power turbines are getting bigger and bigger, and there are a lot of things that we need to consider: the safety and the safe operation, and how to connect with the power grid, and peak shaving. And the power and curve, etc. Because sometimes we need to have some predictions on the wind strength. The prediction of the wind and power has not been easy in the past 3 and 2, 4 decades of years ago. Well, in China, when people predict the wind and power generation, and in the past, the only thing people can count on is the historical wind data. But today, things have changed. And today, each year, we can see these wind turbines are being upgraded. So it's very difficult to simply only rely on historical data to predict the future wind power generation. So how can we predict wind and power more accurately? This has become a very popular topic. A lot of people are in the process of researching this topic. And I think if we can do a better prediction, and which means wind power generation can be much more safer than before. So I just jumped to a new topic, that is controlled nuclear and fusion. Controlled nuclear and fusion is called the ultimate renewable energy and mankind could have. Yeah, this is the ultimate goal in a human could have. We call that the holy grail. Well, this concept was proposed in the year of 1993. However, today, humans could produce nuclear fusion, but it's uncontrolled. That is hydrogen bomb. That's not what we need. Humans started to work on this, and it's been 90 years. The process usually is under high temperature usually, the reaction temperature is hundreds of millions degrees Celsius. Of course, before that, we should have some kind of plasma state. How to make the process controllable, this is really difficult. Well, this year, we have seen some really amazing news. A team from Princeton University, I think it's around in February this year, they published some papers regarding the prediction of the status of the plasma with 300 milliseconds in advance. This is because they use some AI technology. So today, human have successfully used AI to predict the status of the plasma status. So here I want to jump to another topic, that is power storage. This is a really popular topic, starting from the year of the 2022. China has installed 46 gigawatts of power storage. If we look at the whole world, the number is getting bigger. It is said in Q1, Tesla's power storage business is even better than their automobile business. I'm not sure if this is true. However, we still face some challenges, especially by using batteries, and there is some safety issues. I think later, Dr. Wang will give you more details regarding that. On April 16, 2021, there is one power storage station in Beijing exploded and killed a lot of people. This was really big news. So today, people are asking one question: is it safe to build so many large-scale power storage stations? The answer may be is no. Today, if we look at all these power storage stations in China, if we look at the 5 ppm or 10 ppm safety standard, for the core of the battery, which we use in the automotive industry. So if we use today's safety standard to gauge all these stations, we could say none of these power storage stations is safe. So it's part of a DNA, is part of their DNA, to be not safe. So today, there are 220 the batteries are running in China. I mean, in all these power storage stations. How can we identify those problematic and the course. And that's the problem we're facing. How can we solve the problem? AI can help us to solve the problem. So, let me give you one example. And today, when we collect these safety data, so for each month, the data would reach 50 gigabyte. It's impossible to use a human to inspect all this data. We have to use AI. When we look at those parameters, including the power, voltage change, temperature change, etc., the only thing we can do is to use machine learning to train the system, and then we could get better data and models. Then you can help us to identify those problematic components in the batteries. If you look at our company, today, they are working with one academician in China, they are working together to build these models for predicting the safety and hazards for these power storage stations. And today, we could conduct distant data control and data training. So I think before the end of this year, there's a new AI-based pre-warning technology could be deployed in these power storage stations. So in the process, so just now I was talking about power storage stations, and actually, if you look at in many of these renewable energy farms, there are also a lot of power stations. A few years ago, the Chinese regulators has rolled out a mandate, that is for all the renewable energy sites or farms, must have power storage stations. A lot of people complain about that. People are saying there is only 6% of these power storage stations are in use. So why people do not use these power storage stations? This is because for the power grids, it's very difficult for them to control or use these power storage stations. And another problems, the operators or the workers working in these wind farms or the solar farms don't even know how to operate these power storage stations. So that's a problem, and we know so far. So today, in my company, we are establishing some big models, which can help these power stations to have a better control over its operation. So our purpose is to make sure that in these wind farms or solar farms, people can make the best use of these power storage stations, and at the end of the day, these people can have a better profit. So as we said, these power storage stations is more like a technical problem today. So just now I talked about the AI application in the field of power generation. And if you read the Chinese news, very often you will hear new productive forces. And what does it mean? Which means we should have a higher quality of productivity. And so let's come back to the topic of power storage stations. And today, in most occasions, people use lithium batteries. And one of the most important technical part of these lithium batteries in power stations is the control and then of the liquid and flow and in all these and the batteries. And there are some technical and challenges. I know and today and high-fun technology and then can use an AI to help us and to control and monitor and the synchronization and of the batteries, the cathode and anodes. So anyway, today and we're seeing and that AI can play a critical role and in scheduling and controlling and monitoring and the health and status of those in the power storage and stations. Not long ago, when I was in Hanover and in the exposition, when I talked to one of our counterparts, and I learned that this German team and they are working and on these fuel and cells, and today and they are using an AI to optimize the materials used in hydrogen power or in fuel cells. And today, what is the biggest challenge we have in using fuel cell? I think the biggest problem is on cost. Yeah, you have to use 5.5 kWh to produce and 1 ton water. So the cost is a big issue, and by producing fuel cells.
Well, we need to have the load adjustable equipment, and this is very important. So we believe that we need to have the facility and adjustable, and this is device or equipment more suitable for the fluctuated power source. So we need to develop this is lower precious metal load and also so as to reduce the cost. And we bring various directions, for example, like a metal replacement. And this is a long journey. We've done a lot of work, and they have some papers on this area to have AI to do the material screening. This is also very meaningful. So finally, I give you an introduction about our company. This is our company is created by the Power Generation Group. That we founded in 2016. In 2007, we listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange. A gigawatt and 3,000 people, total assets 30 billion yuan. In addition to the power generation, we also have design, construction, power, energy storage equipment manufacturing. We also have the third party, the operation and maintenance. In China, we have a really large scale layout in China. We have 20 branches and projects in overseas markets. We are really expanding throughout the whole world. We are one of the renewable energy company with a global footprint. Thank you, Dr. Zhou, and thank you, CEO and Venture Capital. Thank you very much. Thank you.